Where am I? I need to get out of here. Just once in my life, I'd like to play an indie horror game where someone says, you know what, I'm quite happy with where I am. I think I'm going to stay still for a little while. But that day is not today. We do, however, have a note. Where am I? And what is this place? I cannot remember anything. That's probably because you're off your face on booze, my friend. You're probably a minor. A very, very small one, judging by the size of this skeleton. Alright. Anyway, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a game called Never-Ending Cave. Which seems to be in a cave, and you somehow need to get out of it. Which, will presumably prove to be quite difficult if it is in fact as described and doesn't end. Let's get in this elevator and see if there's any jaunty underground music we can listen to. No, I wouldn't describe that as jaunty. If I was called upon to utilise my musical critic abilities, I wouldn't describe that even close to jaunty. But never mind. Here's another one who seems to be slightly dead, which is lovely. Tell you what he reminds me of. I don't know if you've ever seen that bug in Fallout 4 where the ghouls pull a pose a bit like this and sort of fly off into the sky a bit. It's reminds me quite a lot of that in its own weird way. Man alive, what was this place? A beer mine? Presumably. I mean, the insides of these look relatively clean, so maybe they did constantly have liquid sloshing about inside of them, rather than grubby old ore and the such like. But never mind, at least I'll have plenty of liquid courage, if nothing else. I go deeper and deeper into the caves. I start to feel a presence. I can feel that somebody or something is watching me. What is this place? I don't know. But, seems like there is a flashlight on the crate. It will be very useful. Which one? Oh, that one over there. Oh, alright. Well done for seeing that, given that from where we were standing at the time you couldn't have seen that. I have a sneaking suspicion that our protagonist is psychic. That's alright. Goodness! That's a heck of a torch. Also mistook it for what it was at the moment. But don't you worry about what I thought it was. Let us read this book instead, which will surely be much more intelligent than what I thought it was. Oh no, it seems we cannot read this. Probably because it looks like it's in Latin. What is that? Not a Balties. I only know is that it's the first volume, which is good, because if it was the second volume, we'd probably have trouble trying to catch up with the story we'd missed. Hello. You seem a very wise goat, as goats go. And trust me, if you've ever been butted by one of these things, you will know that they certainly go. Excellent. Possibly some sort of strange cult lives down here that worships goats? I can't do this anymore. I am starting to feel sick, and I am starting to see things. Someone help me. Again, it's probably because of the large volumes of alcohol in your system, but never mind. Another elevator. How deep is this cave? I don't know, but the elevator clearly isn't going to go up, which is a shame, because I think that's the direction we want to go. But that is curious, that goat. Because goats are very rarely sort of deified, or whatever the word is. They're usually more of a sacrifice than something to be worshipped. I'm not familiar with any culture which has ever held the goat in particularly high regard. Which is a little mean to the goat, I feel. I feel like the goat has been a little bit underappreciated in history. I have been in this cave for over a week now. I have not seen the sunlight in a very long time. It seems like whenever I want to go back, there is no way. I cannot live like this anymore. If someone finds this, you have to know that this place is not safe. There is something here. I don't know what it is, but you have to get out. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate your trying to tell me, even if you weren't quite bright enough to actually figure out what exactly the demon that was trying to murder you was exactly. What's all this about? Investigate where the sound is coming from, or alternatively we could just like make a little life for ourselves here, eating bits of wood and drinking booze all night, which frankly sounds slightly preferable than investigating the source of whatever this monster is. Sounds like a radio. Radio with a lot of static. Can't tell what it's tuned into. Yeah, here we are, radio equipment. I can hear human voices. Perhaps there is a way to repair it. Find a fuse for the radio. Today, I heard screams. They weren't normal screams. I can't get that sound out of my head. And I am now sure that there is something in here with me. Well, I don't know. It might have just been a fart that you let off earlier that's been reverberating around the caves as an echo for the past half an hour and eventually worked its way back around to you. And by that point it had gotten so transformed by the geological structures that you didn't recognise it. But, what do I know? I'm not a soundologist. This cave is a maze? Looks more like a mage. It's an old-fashioned word for a wizard, but okay. I left some pickaxes behind, so I know where I have been. The pickaxes lead to an elevator. Oh, alright. So we're going to go into like a little maze section of the game then? That's a very funny way of writing as that, I must say. Alright. So, presumably, you want me to go that way. Well, I'm not going to, because, you know, you don't come here to watch people play games competently and tell good jokes. You come here to see just how bad this hobby so many of us have taken up can get. Well, no monster has tried to bite my face off yet. Can I run? A tiny bit. I can increase my speed by about 0.3%, which is excellent. Is this just a big loop, or does this actually lead somewhere? There's more boxes. Lots and lots of boxes. Oh. Again, another pickaxe. Alright, perhaps... Yes. Perhaps I've actually come back onto the correct path after my stumbling. Like a big doof. What's that? Oh, it's just a rock. It's alright, Phil, it's just a rock. Calm down. Is there anything over there? I know that elevator is back there. I'm just curious to know if there is actually any kind of a monster or a demon or a sandwich thief or anything else particularly horrific down this way. I do not believe that there is. But I can make myself a heck of a mansion with all the wood we've got and all these crates and barrels. So at least I've got a project for the weekend, if nothing else. Sorry, there was a massive hole in the floor there. Turns out I was just seeing things that weren't there. Which shouldn't surprise anybody, given that I actually see some point in doing this. Right. Let's see what else we can find down here. Another stage of the maze, or are we free of it? I don't know. But here is yet another dead person, which is very enthused about having a hug. But that's alright. I don't know why I'd do that, because you can literally see 10% of my arms at that point, but never mind. I think I have found out where the scream was coming from, and I am terrified. I saw a red creature that looked at me and smiled. After it disappeared, I don't know where I am or what is happening, but I cannot continue like this anymore. What's with the bouncing tooth made of honeycomb? Precisely. I'm not going that way. That's a trap. That's a big trap. I don't trust it even a little bit. I'm going to go this way instead. This looks like a slightly different formation of rocks. We haven't seen these little ledges before. At least I don't think we have. Either that or I've been too busy prattling in order to actually notice them. Which we have to admit is quite possible. Really quite possible. Indeed. This cave has a very flat floor for being such a, or for being a natural construct, rather. You always imagine, oh, fiddlesticks. I made a boo-boo. I always do find it curious why naturally occurring caves have such flat floors. I feel like it's a bit of a liberty that entertainment medium creating people make, when in reality you'd imagine it would be just as knobbly and bobbly as all of the walls and the ceilings and the ice creams and everything else. Right then, here is the fuse. May I have it, please? Good afternoon. I suppose we're going for a little walk. I may have slightly died. Right then, that was interesting. Am I alive? No, I think I died. Oh no, I didn't. What happened? I fell in a hole because of that creature. Seems like the elevator is broken. I have to repair it to get back to the radio. I need to find a wrench. Giddy up. What hole did I fall down? Did I fall down there generally? I don't know. Find a wrench to repair the elevator. Alright then. We've got a right little laundry list of tasks going on, haven't we? What's it going to say next? We need to find a screwdriver to get the wrench back together. I don't know. Let's pick up the pace a little bit, for I feel we have been lingering here a little too long, and I don't wish particularly to get spooked by another underwhelming jump scare like that one. Hello, Mr. Goat. Have you possibly seen a wrench anywhere around here? Man alive, them some ribbed horns. You've got a very ribbed horn going on, Mr. Wise Goat. I'm sure that helps out with Mrs. Goat. Right then. Never mind none of that. What's that? That's nothing. Well done, old boy. You saw something of value in emptiness. Like so many of us. A wrench. Goodness, I haven't seen a wrench like that in longer than I can remember. My word. Sorry, a bit of a blast from the past there. A brother of mine is very into sort of mechanics and engines and building things and all sorts of stuff like that. So there's normally wrenches and spanners and all the rest of it laundered around the place like there were no tomorrow. So I am miserably familiar with what wrenches look like. Right then, that was a wonderful anecdote, Phil. Well done. You told a very, very interesting story there, which has enlightened the audience and taught them so much and entertained them no end. Right then, let's wallop this thing with a wrench in order to get it working. If the Lego Indiana Jones game taught me anything, it was that. And let's see if we can get back to our best friend, the radio. Now I have to get back to the radio and repair it. I hope that this will work. Well, what could possibly go wrong? We're only in an inescapable cave with a demon in it in an indie horror game. I perceive absolutely nothing which could possibly go wrong with this plan. Also, you know, sorry to be a spoil sport and party pooper and all, but how exactly is this going to help? Precisely. Because we can get the radio working and tell them what exactly. I'm in a cave. Oh, I've made it back to where I fell on the floor. Alright then. I'm in a big cave. What cave are you in? I don't know. What does it look like? Stony. Brilliant. Yeah, I'm not really convinced this will help much, but what do I know? At least I can have some company. At least I can tune into Radio New Vegas and make everything better. Right then, where the hell was the radio? I think this was another mazy bit, wasn't it? And I had to, I've got to make my way back through it in order to get my way back to the radio. Alright, fair enough. I suppose with the sedentary lifestyle that comes with this hobby, it's necessary for me to actually get off my arse and walk around occasionally. And for more than just walking to the fridge would probably be a wise idea. I mean, it must be connected to the surface somehow, otherwise we'd have suffocated by now. And then again, that doesn't necessarily imply that the connection to the surface is wide enough for me to get my fat arse out of it. So, who honestly knows these things? Alright, I think if we continue down this path, we should actually be pretty close to the radio. Because if I remember correctly, we came to a point where there was a pickaxe just on the right of these barrels. Yes, and then being a dunce, I went left. So, huzzah. For once in my life, my sense of direction is actually working, which is quite amazing, given that everything looks exactly the same, and we've got no landmarks or points of reference to use, which is lovely. Right then, let's see if we can get this thing working. Hello, can anyone hear me? There is no Oh, okay. Thank you for... Oh, odd. Alright. Thank you for actually sending me back to the menu instead of sending me to the desktop, which is what most indie games do, so I approve of that. Right then, this is a nice image. I feel like a lot of effort has gone into the creation of that, which is quite nice. I'm not sure what to think of that, to be honest with you. It's a good starting point. It's got potential. The jump scare wasn't very effective, at least the one which caused us to fall in the hole in the ground, big and sort of round it was. I feel like, yes, a better noise, a better sound effect that didn't seem quite so stock, to put it frankly, would have worked. And possibly if the enemy hadn't been quite so visible, if he sort of stayed in the shadows a little bit. And it said that, in the notes, it said that the people had occasionally seen a monster with red eyes. So maybe it would have been nice if occasionally, like as you were going down the tunnels, like up near the top or in a corner somewhere, there could have been some little red eyes, but then when you cast your flashlight over them, the red eyes disappeared, in order to just build up a little bit of tension and give you a sensation of being watched and tracked and sort of stalked. Or maybe like some sound effects behind you, like some shifting of rubble or gravel and some footsteps as it sort of traces behind you and tracks you. I feel like that could do quite a bit to add to the atmosphere of this, because it has potential. It builds up a nice little story, and I like the environment. Just the spook itself needs to be a little bit more than it is. But yeah, I quite like that. I rather enjoyed that. I think my my general way of deciding whether or not I like a game at the end of it is, am I glad that I just spent the last 17 minutes and 46 seconds of my life doing that? And to be honest, yeah, I am. I rather enjoyed that. Right then. Indeed. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Life After Us game. While touring the old Arkham Caverns, I decided to stray from the group. As I explored a lesser-known part of the cave, I felt the ground collapse and I fell into the darkness. I woke with my flashlight broken. I stumbled around in the dark until... Never mind. I don't know what happened. We'll have to find that out on our own. So, yes. Let's see what we can find. I don't know where my source of light is coming from, because it just said that it was, broken. But it seems to flicker, so presumably I've got a match or a lantern rather than an electric torch. What have we here? We were exploring the cave and we felt the cave floor collapse under us. We survived the fall, but my leg is broken. I don't think I can walk. John is fine. He's going to scout ahead and try to find a way out of here. I could hear footsteps in the dark. Thinking it was John, lost in the darkness, I called out. As I did, the footsteps stopped, and all I could hear was a deep breathing, followed by nothing. Looks like I'm not the first person to stumble upon this place. You're not wrong. Somehow I doubt you're going to be the last either. Goodness, what's this strange structure built in here? What have we here? How we survived the fall I'll never know. Simon's leg is broken. I've left one of the oil lamps with him and taken one to look for a way out. It's strange. This section of the cave is undiscovered, but there are man-made structures. How old could they be? Oh, I see. So I must have picked up Simon's lantern and taken that with me. That explains a lot. Alright then, it seems like we're going on a little Lara Croft adventure then. Fair enough. Giddy on. Looks like we're staring off into the abyss of space. And like a few constellations up there, a little nebula off to the left. Infinite inky void off to the right. So I make my way through the cave. I keep thinking I hear movement or the sounds of scratching. The darkness must be playing tricks on my mind. Yes, because nobody ever heard of a cave that had a monster in it, did they? No one ever heard of such silliness. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right, let's just pick up the pace a little bit. Oh, interesting, some quartz, or some energy crystals, or some sugar rock. Good afternoon. Who was that? Member of the underground race of potato people, or some sort of an alien? I've seen the remains of people and some old notes from some sort of expedition. I don't know how old they are, but they are clearly not the first down here. It has been so long since I've had a drink of water or something to eat. I keep thinking I see something moving in the dark. I'm surprised you didn't eat the mushrooms, mate. Or maybe you did eat the mushrooms and that's why you think you're seeing things. It's a little difficult to tell. Yes, look at those. Those look, I was going to say they look quite appetizing. To be honest with you, even regular mushrooms that you're actually supposed to eat don't look appetizing to me, so what the hell am I talking about? I like that. I'm not entirely sure why there'd be a photosynthetic plant this deep underground, but good afternoon, sir. I need to get past you. Huzzah. Turns out being a high school athlete saved my bacon. Journal of Charles Horton. Oh, giddy up. We found the lower parts of the cave along with some man-made structures proving that at least a group of old once lived here. We will begin looking for the book next. Interesting. Right. Sorry, I had to read that on the go. Don't generally advise doing that. You'll probably walk into something. But at least we're alive, which is, well, we've probably got quite a lot of scratches on our buttocks. But, we'll live. Hopefully. So, right. Get out. So, there was some sort of expedition looking for some kind of book. Some form of, ancient tome, perhaps. I doubt they were just looking for some sort of, the recipe book. Gordon Ramsay and Warty Mushrooms. Edition 7, something like that, perhaps. I do like the detailing. All of the knobbly bobbliness of everything. It's very nice indeed. And I do love these crystals. They're very, very pretty. If a little disturbing, just to see them shining there in the darkness. It's an odd mix of nice and scary. But I suppose we've nothing to do but keep walking and hope that we can... I was going to say find the book. To be honest with you, I'd settle for getting out of here with my head still attached. But we'll have to see what we find. Find something to break the rocks. I found a way out. I can feel the wind from behind the rocks. I know there has to be a passage out through here. I just need something to break them. I just need to rest for a while before I look. It was so close to making it out. Yes, poor soul. To be honest with you, it looks like if you tried to remove any of those rocks, you'd cause a whole cave in. But what? Alright, I don't think that was... Giddy on these flies. I don't think that was behind me. That must have been somewhere in front of me. Turns out I'm a bit of a fortune teller when it comes to the old cave-ins. Presumably that's going to block off one of the ways that I came. Because we came to a fork in the tunnel, didn't we? And we turned left. I reckon that cave-in probably blocked off the way that we came originally. So that we can't go back that way accidentally. But we'll have left open that passageway on the right to allow us to explore down there and get whatever the tool is, some sort of pickaxe or some dynamite or something. At least that's how I would do it. But If there's anything we can be certain of, it's that my mind and the minds of the rest of the human race do not work in the same way. So, let's see what we find down this right-hand tunnel. I might just stand here with my mouth open for a little while and and enjoy a drink. Oh, an obelisk. Goodness, it's like we're underneath the Dunwich building. So far no luck. It's hard to navigate the caves and parts keep falling in. We will not give up the search. We cannot give up. We have come too far for it. Yes, and we've forgotten the difference between 2 and 2, but never mind any of that. Never mind any of that. You imagine that people in olden times had a better command of the English language than modern folks do, but what do I know? I'm just standing here being crass. I'm not even standing, I'm sitting. Right. Can I go up around the back here? I can indeed. Goodness. Is this a secret place? I feel like this path wouldn't go on for this long if it were just some sort of random thing. There must be some purpose for being up here. We've reached the top of the obelisk, which is nice. I'm not convinced there's actually anything up here, however, which is a little bit of a shame. I got all very excited about this. Oh well, never mind. I always like it when there's a sort of additional thing in a game which you can miss quite easily. Speaking of missing, I was convinced there was a tunnel here off to the left, but in fact there wasn't. But no, I like it when there's sort of little extra missable things in a game that you won't always see. I think that's always a nice touch. Adds a certain level of depth to the game, rather than being sort of a one-size-fits-all policy with these things. Right then, let me scoot back, because it seems that my theory about the cave-in was actually wrong. Because when we came back to the fork to come down this tunnel, it looked like it didn't actually block off the pathway that we originally came down, so I guess I'm going to have to go back and have another look down that way, back with our murderous alien friend, and see if he left anything behind for us. This is strange, we haven't been here before. But how can we have ended up somewhere different? I just turned around and went back the same way I came in. Goodness. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I'm absolutely convinced that we have come back the same way. But for some reason things seem different. One of the men went missing last night and the others keep saying they hearing noises. We have found a new passage and I think it may lead us to what we want. Oh goodness. Do you really want it though? Do you really want it that badly? Alright, we could go this way. Let me just... Oh. This is back to the bridge with the nebula. Curious. I didn't think we'd come this far back, and I also didn't think that when we came down this tunnel... Maybe we did turn right, but I have no memory of there being an entrance here. Unless that cave-in that we heard wasn't the blocking of a pathway, it was the opening of one? I suppose that's possible. I mean, both would involve the moving of rocks, and that is what we heard. So perhaps that's what happened. Let's see what we can find. In here, what's that? Oh, right, it's alright. It's just a static mark, don't worry about it, old boy. Sorry. And you see random shadows dancing around in the flickering light of a cavern system. A cavern system, I might add, in which we've already met at least one murderous maniac. It doesn't hurt to be cautious. It hurts one's, like, you know, sense of pride and sense of dignity, but it doesn't hurt one's, survival chances. Man alive. I really like this. I don't know why, I've always liked games in caves with, sort of underground passageways and things. I've always found them quite exciting. I don't know why, because I hate the idea of being trapped underground with no way to reach the surface again. I think it ties into my fear of being trapped under deep water as well. But goodness, Some intricate carvings there. It's like a skeletal character with large wings. Curious. Is this what you were looking for, Mr. Charles? Could you pick this up, please? We found it. We found the temple. The Necronomicon may still lie within. We will push inside in search of it. Ah, right. Yes, I can't remember. If I said at the beginning of this, but these Life After Us, I think they're referred to, little games were all based on the work of Lovecraft and Poe. So I can't remember. I believe the Necronomicon was one of Lovecraft's, not one of Poe's. I don't know a great deal about Poe's work, unfortunately. I know the rough sort of genre that it lies in, and I know that it's generally associated with Lovecraft, but I'm not familiar with what it's actually about. I've never read any of his works. I really should. I feel like they're part of... Oh, pickaxe, lovely. I feel like they're part of being... What blew out my lantern? I feel like a good understanding of Poe and Lovecraft is necessary for considering oneself to know anything about horror. It's a nice touch, game. Very nice touch. Good evening. Goodbye. And that's it. Yes, Life After Us, Fading Light. Man alive, I really, really liked that. I liked that, I'll tell you the thing I really liked, is that it set up an escape we didn't actually get to enjoy. I'm just going to go back into it for the sake of being allowed to walk along. Also, it mentions Arkham Caverns. I could be completely mad, but isn't Arkham a place that is referenced in one of Lovecraft's works? I have no idea. Maybe these are sort of video game retellings of some of Lovecraft's stories. Perhaps that's what they are. I could certainly believe it. I was going to say the little monster creatures remind me quite a lot of some characters from Lovecraft, but then again, at least from the Lovecraft which I've read, which isn't as much as I would have liked to have read, Lovecraft was very good at sort of describing the powers and the presence of a being without really paying quite so much attention to its sort of physical characteristics. I suppose because he was a bit more focused on causing that kind of sense of dread of a powerful and scary being, rather than being overly focused on, yes, this pathway wasn't here before, that's what we heard when we heard the cave-in. Rather than just being focused on a more sort of gory type of thing, sort of an unsettling concept rather than unsettling image, perhaps. But I'm sure there are people that have interpreted Lovecraft's work far better and far more eloquently than I ever could. But yeah, I wish I could have had the opportunity to read more of Lovecraft's work. I got a big book that was a massive collection of his works, and I lent them to somebody and never got them back. So I unfortunately have only read a few of them, and I can't bring myself to buy another copy. But never mind. Yeah, I really like this. It's very nicely put together. The sound design is very nice, and as I said, I like that it gives you an ending in terms of giving you this this exit wherever it is that you need to use the pickaxe on, and giving you a pickaxe you can find, which makes you think, okay, now I need to get back to the cave-in and escape with the use of my pickaxe. But really, that's not the ending, and it was never going to be, which is a very nice way of doing things, I think. So I don't know who this poor soul is, whether he's Mr. Charles or anyone else for that matter, but I'm just gonna sort of sit in a corner, and because this is the most safe I've been in the last 16.5 minutes of my life. So I think we shall leave that there for now, and I'll try to not kick the underside of the desk again. Yeah, I like that. Disturbing, unique, and very professionally put together, so I very much enjoyed that. So thank you very much for joining this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and